What's happening, everyone? Welcome to GBALL Vision. Today, I have an exciting video planned for you guys. This also might just break my heart at the end of this. We shall see. If you are not familiar, we do blade battles here at GBALL Vision. It's been a little bit since we've done one, but a good buddy of the channel and mine, Chaz, also known as Chaz Like Sharp Objects on YouTube, gave me a great idea to do the Yeager M from Brian Brown Knives against the Renegade Provisions Co GOM. Now, we had a interesting topic. I was saying how great the Yeager is. He was saying how great the GOM is. And I was getting ready to argue. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I love the Renegade Provisions Co GOM as well. It won my Knife of the Year last year. It is a phenomenal knife. The Yeager is one of my all-time favorite knives as well. So I figured it best to go ahead and do a blade battle. So we have the typical run-of-the-mill 11 categories, guys: materials, price, value, cutting, ergos, fidget, action, sounds, aesthetics, carry, and the tiebreaker, if necessary, will go to the 11th round, and the better EDC and work knife will win that category and win the tiebreaker. 1 point per category. If there is a tie within any given category, it will go to a 0-point score on that category. So that is the layout. You have some numbers here. I have the retail price and the aftermarket price wrote down. So we do have some extra information on these guys. That way I don't have to do any looking or anything. So we have the Brian Brown Knives Yeager M version 2 here. And we have the Renegade Provisions Co. God of Mischief. Now, this has some aftermarket parts on it and in it. We are going to be observing this as its original form, not this form. And this has skiff bearings in it. We're going to not really be able to eliminate them. This has skiffs in it as well, so that's kind of fair. But as far as materials and all that, we will be looking at these as if they had all original OEM hardware and whatnot, which won't be very difficult to do. So we will use our elusive Shipwrecked Rough Rider SMKW exclusive copper pen bolt action for the scoring of this. First up is going to be materials, and we will go ahead and start with the Brian Brown Knives Yeager M. So you have a machined satin M390 sheep's foot blade, nice long straight edge, swedge coming up here, a double swedge. You have a window cut out for your deployment. This is the flipper list version. You have all titanium hardware in the OEM original form. You have a titanium backspacer and pocket clip. It sits with Zircu tie, backspacer, and pocket clip now. Titanium DLC'd hardware and zirconium pivot collars, but originally that's just all titanium. Stonewashed titanium handle. Very simplistic, but just an amazing, amazing all-around knife. And with the Renegade Provisions Co. GOM, you have a machine satin M390 Warncliffe blade. Very well done. You have an elongated hole and front flipper tab for your deployment methods. This is a titanium bolster lock. You have black micarta inlays, very well finished. Full titanium backspacer, 3D milled titanium deep carry pocket clip. Guys, as far as materials are concerned, you have the same steel. You have titanium, full titanium on the Yeager. You have a titanium bolster, titanium backspacer and pocket clip here with micarta. I am going to say, so I'm going to give the slight edge to the Yeager only because it's all titanium. Here you have micarta inlays. It's full titanium for the Yeager. I'm going to give it to the Yeager by literally a quarter of a point. So the point will go to the Brian Brown. So first category, materials, just goes to the Yeager. Next up is price. So the Yeager, when available, it retailed for $375. The GOM, which is still available right now, retails for $365. So ultimately, guys, just the Yeager just edges it out in materials, and I mean just ever so slightly. I'm going to give the price because it's $10 cheaper. I'm going to go with the GOM because it is a tremendous value. It's a great knife. They're both Riot made. I'm going to try to be, I love both these knives. They're two of my all-time favorite knives, so I'm going to try to keep as open mind as I can. So we'll give the GOM the price. Next up is value, guys, and this is where the Yeager will basically set itself apart. You cannot, it's very hard to find a Yeager in stock right now. The GOM is still in stock now. Quite a bit of them are completely sold out, but you can still get them right from Renegade, and then you can find them on the secondary as well. Value is the third category, and that means what is its value after it is sold and secondary price. So you can routinely get these for $350 to $365 and sometimes cheaper on the GOM. The Yeager, I've seen them going for close to $800 right now. Now, some of those are exclusive style versions. I've seen some regular ones going for $600 to $700. So the value is going to go to the Yeager. They are very hard to get. Even in their original form, they are a lot more costly than the GOM. So the Yeager will win the value category. So our fourth category is cutting. The Yeager leads right now 2-1. Cutting is our fourth category. We will do a live cut test. I can tell you guys right now, they both have phenomenal edges, and this is with use on them. The GOM has always been an amazing slicer. I've had the GOM for quite a while, and it is just screaming sharp. It is a flat grind, so it slices very well. Very nice edge on the GOM. And for the Yeager, that has a hollow grind, very thin down to that edge, and it is also an amazing slicer. Ultimately, with both of them having use, and I would say probably an equal amount, the Yeager is just, the GOM is sharp, but the Yeager is just razor sharp. You can barely feel that you're cutting into the paper. I mean, it's a razor blade. That hollow grind is ridiculously sharp. It comes down nice and thin. I'm going to give the cutting just a slight edge to the Yeager. So we have a 3-1 lead for the Yeager. Next up is going to be ergos. So category 5 is the ergos. You guys can play along with this. Let me know if you come up with something different. Also, let me know if you have a video idea that you would like to see me do. Leave it down in the comments. I would love to hear it. I will give you a shout out in the video also, and do that said topic. I will write it down. I have a list going, already have 20 or 30 different ideas, and everyone wrote down. So just to throw that in there. Ergos, the Yeager is ultra comfortable, guys. I love knives with backspacers. Both of these do have a full backspacer pretty much, and they're both ultra comfortable. I'm going to have to say, though, man, this is tough. I would say just by the slimmest of margins, I'm going to give it to the GOM. The GOM is just a little bit more comfortable. I mean, it is just unbelievably comfortable. The Yeager is right there, though, but I'm going to say the GOM gets it. So we have a 3-2 lead for the Yeager. Going into round 6, we have fidget up next. Now, multiple deployment methods don't necessarily mean fidgetability. You can have one means of deployment and still have amazing fidget. Similarly here to the Yeager. Good pivot, good bearings, the right weight of blade, the ease of getting to that lock bar or liner or bolster lock really also is a game changer for a fidget knife. Ultimately, guys, I think I'm going to have to give this one to the GOM for fidget. I know I just said that multiple deployments don't necessarily equal fidget, but with this having the hole and the front flipper, the bolster lock, it makes this extremely fidgety. Even if this didn't have a hole, and it just had the front flipper, I think this would still win. Or if this just had the hole, this, I think, would still win. So we'll give it to the GOM, and I mean just by a small margin, because you can fidget the hell out of a Yeager. So we have a 3-3 tie going into round 7. Action is up next. They both are on skiff bearings, so it's fair in that sense. The Yeager thwacks open, drops to your nail, little hydraulic shut. The GOM thwacks open, will drop to your nail, and then easily closes, hydraulic close. I mean, it wants to go home. The GOM has a little better of a close on it, but the Yeager has a way better open and a little more of a hydraulic close, where the GOM kind of just falls shut, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Man, this is tough. So the action I'm going to give, They're both tremendously good. I think I'm going to give it to the Yeager. I mean, just the Yeager has more of a controlled, it's hard to show under the camera, but the Yeager has more of like a controlled, nice, slow drop. It will drop to your thumb, and then it has a nice, like, hydraulic close, where this still has a hydraulic close, but wants to basically just, they're both so good. All right, I'm going to give it to the GOM. I'm going to give it to the GOM. All right, so the GOM is up 4-3. We're going into sounds. The Yeager is going to win this. It has some of the absolute best acoustics. The GOM has good acoustics for a bolster lock with micarta, but it doesn't sound anywhere near what the Yeager does. Yeah, we'll give it to the Yeager. So it is literally a 4-4 tie going into round 9. Next up is aesthetics, which is going to be pretty much personal preference. I think these are both two of the most outstanding looking knives that I have ever seen. I absolutely love both of these knives. This is going to be tough. I might ultimately give this one a tie, because, I mean, this has such a mean sheep's foot blade. Great looking lines. The GOM has that awesome Warncliffe blade. Great lines. Love the handle shape. I don't know that I could choose one that looks better aesthetically. I mean, they both are just phenomenal looking knives. And to be fair, I think I'm going to have to give them both 0 points, or both technically 1 point. So we'll just go with zeros, and we will go into round 10, which is going to be carry. Still at a 4-4 tie. Carry is also kind of up to the end user. They both have a very similar carry, as far as they both have 2 screws at the top, where you're still going to have just a tiny bit of the knife sticking out. We'll go ahead and pull out the GBALL Hank. They both carry tremendously well. Nice tight fit. So they both have quite a bit sticking out. The Yeager is a little easier in and out of the pocket, where the GOM has a little bit more retention. The GOM is a little, I mean, they are equally about as tall and wide in certain spots. The GOM is a little longer from flipper tab to tail, but I mean just slightly. And then the Yeager is a touch wider in some areas. The GOM is a little wider here, and then the Yeager is a little wider there. Boy, this is tough, guys. Very tough. I think that I'm going to give it to the Yeager by just the smallest of margins, guys. And I mean the smallest. So the carry will go to the Yeager. We have a 5-4 lead going into number 11, which is the better EDC knife, the better work knife. This is also kind of up to the user. I'm going to say, though, with the flat grind, with the Wharncliffe blade, with the ergos that the GOM has, I'm going to have to say that the GOM is a slightly better work knife. They both are great EDC knives. So because the GOM has the better work capability, but still has that amazing EDC capability, not that the Yeager couldn't be an awesome work knife as well. The hollow grind just won't be as tough as the flat grind will be. The Wharncliffe blade, they're both very useful. I'm going to give it to the GOM. And because of the tie, and I just now am realizing that, it is going to actually be a stalemate. It's going to actually be a 5-5 tie. So there will not be a winner of this. We might have to do, I mean, this is how I'm feeling right now. I don't know that it'll change. But this is the first time we've ever had a tie for a battle. And they are so close as far as materials are concerned, retail price is concerned, build quality, Riot OEM'd on both, phenomenal designs. It doesn't surprise me one bit that these knives would be neck and neck. Could you have given aesthetics to the Yeager? Yes, and that would have won. Could have given aesthetics to the GOM, depending on what you like. But some days I like all titanium like this. Some days I like all micarta, a micarta inlay, similar to this. So the aesthetic is kind of up in the air. If you wanted to give it to one or the other and announce them the winner, you could. But for today, we will call it a tie. And that kind of settles me down a little bit because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was nervous. I didn't want either of them to lose, really. And neither of them would, even if one had won, the other one is still amazing. But for the first time, we have a battle that ends in a stalemate, a tie. The Yeager M versus the God of Mischief is a tie. That'll do it, guys. Let me know what you think. I love y'all. Give a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Hit the subscribe. Love you all. Catch you later.